I'm highest on for fantasy. That's interesting. All right, baby, we got this thing filled. Let's get it. And so I'm be answering questions the rest of the way. What's good, T-Wolves? T-Wolves in the building. What's good? The T-Wolves are in the building. And I got the first pick. Why does my screen look like this right now? First pick of the draft. See, normally I go Tyreek Hill here. I like going Tyreek Hill. But I'm going to switch it up just so we can see a different. No, I'm going to go Tyreek Hill and then accordingly. I'll draft accordingly. I was going to switch it up. How can I? Why does this look like this right now? Sorry, I'm going to try to turn. Let me refresh this shit. Hold on a second. I can't turn the sound off right now. What the fuck happened? I can't. Y'all, I'm trying to turn this up on this thing. I can't. Oh, let me see if I can do it on here. What's good? I'm answering everything today. Answering everything today. Pitts or Kincaid? I like Pitts better. We like basketball, to be honest, but football's cool too. Hey, we can do basketball questions. I can do basketball questions today too. I'm gonna try to turn off the sound. Hold on, guys, because I know that's annoying. I'm gonna try to turn it off on my other phone. For whatever reason, it's glitching on me. Mock draft, drafting, settings, enable sounds. Did I turn the sounds off? Hopefully I turned the sounds off. Why is this doing this? Give me a second. Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I turn it off? Hopefully I turned off the noise. That sleeper noises is crazy, bro. Are you answering some dynasty questions? Big dog, hell yeah. Whatever you want. Throw it in the chat. I'm doing a mock draft on YouTube right now. Whatever y'all want, man. Whatever y'all want. Shit. Yeah, you ain't bothering me, homie. I'm chilling right now. Big chilling right now. Trying to get this camera right. It's falling over. There we go. All right, so no, we're good on the sounds now. Cool. Thoughts on the Chargers backfield? I think this is Gus Edwards' backfield, and I know we got Vito in the background. A lot of people like him, Kamani Vito, and then J.K. Dobbins has to prove that he's healthy, but I think Gus Edwards runs away with it. One of them will be in the passing game. Vikings fan, I see you, Timberwolves. Would you trade Barkley for Bijan Robinson? In redraft, I think it's a clean swap. In Dynasty, absolutely. Who's your GOAT, LeBron or Jordan? LeBron's the GOAT, baby. MLB? Hell nah. I don't do MLB, man. What do you think of the Wolves? I think the Wolves are solid. I think they're solid. They gotta do something with that with Cat. They gotta figure that out because Ant needs another playmaker, and Cat is a guard in the Big's body, and I hate it. Posted in sleeper chat. Thoughts on Jerome Ford? Jerome Ford will be solid, man. He'll be solid, even when Nick Chubb comes there. Like, he was an RB16 last year. So the Browns like him. They'll use him. I think a lot of people are probably excited about, like, Deontay Foreman if Nick Chubb can't start. But it'll be a committee. I think you'll get Jerome Ford for free. And early on in the season, I think Jerome Ford will be a value. Later on in the season, not so much. But decent flex option to have. All right, going back to back here. We got Kyron Williams here at the top, Laporta, Devin Achane, Josh Jacobs, Stephon Diggs, Nico, Debo. I think I kind of know where I'm going with this. Man, we got some. What is going on with this thing, bro? All right, so first up, I'm going to take Diggs. I took Diggs with my first pick. Running backs, I kind of want to take Josh Jacobs here. I feel like I can come back. I'm going to grab Cooper Kupp with this next pick. So right now I got Tyreek Hill, Diggs, and Cooper Kupp. Tyreek Hill, Diggs, and Cooper Kupp. Saquon and T. Higgins for James Cook and A.J. Brown. In Dynasty, James Cook and A.J. Brown. Saquon. Give me the Saquon and T. Higgins side. It's not close. I think Saquon is in so much better situation than James Cook. James Cook Probably has another year or two left as a starter, if that. And then T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, I don't think it's that far off. A.J. Brown being in his prime right now, you get T. Higgins, who hasn't hit his prime yet. Still a lot of potential there. Still a lot of potential there. If you had number one, who would you take? I'm struggling not to take Bijan. I just took Tyreek Hill. I'm in a mock draft right now. I just took Tyreek Hill. So I think he's the floor play. Everybody's gonna love Bijan this year because of what the coaches are saying, which is understandable. He could have a monster year. I'm not saying that. I just think Tyreek Hill's floor is crazy. We see that San Fran hat, yes sir. Which one? That one or the Niners, baby? Both of them. Both of them lit. You feel me? Both of them are lit. Niners and Giants. The sound is back. Shit. Let me see if I could fix it. It's one of these. Did that turn it off? Did that turn it off? Sorry, I know that's mad annoying for everybody watching. Sorry. Sound back? Thoughts on Derrick Henry? He'll be a value this year, bro. Derrick Henry's gonna be a monster with Lamar. A monster. A monster, bro. I think Derrick Henry has a chance. Like he might like crack 20 touchdowns this year. Derrick Henry is going to be a monster for the Ravens this year. Thoughts on Javonte Williams? It's crazy. I kind of think that Javonte Williams shit's kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like the way that Sean Payton is running the Broncos into the ground right now does not sit right with me. I think Javonte could have a good year if he's the starter, but it seems like there's a real possibility that like he might not even have a chance to start this year. Like, which would be wild. Jaleel McLaughlin as like, I don't know. Hopefully it's just coach speak, but because I think Javonte is a really good back. Hopefully they're just using it as motivation, but I just think there's a lot of risk with Javonte this year. And I'm a big Javonte guy. Go pads and Niners. Pads. Who are pads? MLB better than NBA easily. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Who you taking in the Superflex rookie draft at the 101? Caleb or Jaden? I'm taking Caleb. Caleb for the safety. I think Jaden Daniels has the upside for the next 2-3 years, but he's also got the risk. And I think Caleb's just such a safe player. You can't, he's like a can't miss guy. Sounds good to me. I got you. Dylan, what's going on, my man? Appreciate you, my guy. Who's your top Chargers wide receiver to take? My top guy, I think Joshua Palmer is probably the safest out of them. I would take the upside on Quentin Johnston. Harbaugh's talked him up, and I know everybody's going Ladd McConkey, but for me, I think you get such a good value on Quentin Johnston. Why wouldn't you take him? Like, to me, there's, they invested a first-round pick. He's going to get opportunity. And what's worse, right? Like Ladd McConkey, you're going to be holding on to. You're like, I got to see it all the way through. I got to know, like, he hits. And yeah, it'll come in the second half. He'll be a roster clog for you all year if he doesn't hit, at least until like the second half of the year. Whereas Quentin Johnston, you're like, it'll be very easy to tell if he's part of the offense or not. Very easy. And you get him so late in drafts. I would rather have Joshua Palmer seems like a clog. Quentin Johnston has the upside that I'd like to see. But none of them in Greg Roman's offense are going to have any crazy years. You believe in the third-year breakout for Jameson Williams? Absolutely. I talked about that a little bit earlier on the show. I actually broke it down. One of the coaches, or Dan Campbell, was just saying he's going to go crazy this year. So I've been a big Jameson Williams guy. I think more so in standard leagues he'll have a crazy year, but they don't have a deep threat this year. He's going to be that guy. And if he's playing well, playing up to his first-round capital, it could be a crazy season for him. Hero RB or hero wide receiver this year, which would be a better choice? I think it just depends on the nature of the draft. Like you see, there's good running backs that slips. There's good wide receivers that slip. So it all depends on your draft. Like if Derrick Henry would have slipped to me, I would have took him over either Kupp or Diggs. Like that's about where I'm at. I probably could have took Josh Jacobs instead of Cooper Kupp. I'm a big Cooper Kupp guy. So I don't think there's a good hero or wide receiver, running back or wide receiver strategy. I think just play the board. Like I could have took Bijan, I'd have been fine. I could have took CMC, I'd have been fine. But this is kind of more of a zero RB build, unfortunately. I probably should have took a running back. It's cool though. I'm going to go Ken Walker right here. And this next pick, I've been taking Aaron Jones a lot. I'm kind of going to stay away from him this time. I'm going to take another receiver here. I'm going to go T. Higgins. I think he's fallen a little too far for me. We'll see what this thing turns out to be. Would you rather have James Cook or Josh Jacobs in Dynasty? Give me Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs over James Cook. I think James Cook is a little too risky. That boy Jay Henry, you already know. Fryles was good, bro. Was good. Pollard, Zeke, Mostert, rank him. Pollard, Zeke, Mostert, rank him. Give me Pollard, then Mostert, then Zeke. Pollard, Mostert, then Zeke. Thoughts on Achane this year? Very risky. I think he's going to be overdrafted. I think Achane will be overdrafted because of what he did in that 50-point game. Literally, that stretch he had, that stretch run that he had of like 20 and 30 point, like it was 20, 50, whatever it was. He had like 3 or 4 games with over 20 fantasy points. That carried him because he came back in the second half and he was a different player. So I think he'll be more inconsistent than people want. Yes, he has upside, and that carried a lot of his value last season. How would you order? Oh, shit. Hold on. I see that coming in. Finnegan, I got you. Who would you take at 9 in a 12-team league in half-point PPR? So I'm going to preach this, and it's going to sound like I'm like dodging the question, but I'm not. And I'm going to take best player available, man. Like, honestly, because when you go, I've done several mock drafts already, and who come like Breece Hall is here at 8. And when I post on the page, on my TikTok page, I'll be like, yo, here's the mock draft. Everybody's like, oh, well, how is Breece Hall going to 8? There's no way Breece Hall goes at 8. I'm like, who would you take? Who's slipping? Chase, Jefferson, St. Brown? Who's slipping? Bijan? So it all depends. Like, you're probably going to be somewhere with like Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Jahmyr Gibbs, A.J. Brown. I'll take Saquon, A.J. Brown. It depends on the league size. Depends on, like you said, 12-team half-point PPR. I'm probably going with Saquon there. I'm probably rocking with Saquon or maybe Taylor. Saquon or Taylor are probably the pick for me there. I wouldn't mind A.J. Brown there either. Just being real. Like I said, I know it sounds like I'm not like committing, but it depends on how my draft's going, who I'm drafting with, and it also depends on like the flow of things too. Because if Breece might slip there, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, like there might be somebody that slips there. So I kind of like the 9 spot because I think you can find value, but it'll be a different pick each time. I'll tell you that. I do not draft the same in every draft. Put it that way. Tiers. Draft in tiers, not in rankings. I took Bijan at 102. Am I redraft? Am I crazy or in your bag? I think you're in your bag. You get who you want, bro, because if you don't take them there at 2, you're not getting them. So you got to take who you want, man. You got to take who you want. They said they might not even be on the team. Sorry, I didn't mean to invite you, Maniac. Don't accept that because I'm going to kick you off. They said he might not be even on the team. Yeah, Javonte not being on the team is crazy to me. Crazy to me. Thoughts on the Burrow Chase stack? I don't like stacks in redraft. I like stacks in best ball, not in redraft. What do you think about JJ Redick? If he takes the Lakers job, be careful, bro, because the way they did Darvin Ham, they're going to do JJ Redick like that. If the Lakers aren't winning a championship in the next 2 years, JJ's going to have a whole lot of hate coming his way. So I know he's already going to be on the microscope if he takes the Lakers job, especially if they draft Bronny too. He's going to catch a lot of hate this year, but I think as a coach, I don't mind him. He's a smart dude, very intelligent coach. You can tell he knows the game really well, respects the game. So I always love coaches, players like that respect the game. And JJ comes off as a person who obviously does and takes pride in his craft. So I love the hire, and I think that he'll be relatable as a player. He has a rapport already with the best player on the team. I don't mind it at all. I don't listen to the outside noise. Taking Jettas or Chase, give me Justin Jefferson. Can you rank Deontay, Drake London, Olave, and Evans? Who would you take? Give me Evans, then Olave. Give me Evans. No, excuse me. Give me Evans, London, Olave, Deontay. That's my order. Skylar, just gave you 1,000 likes. Have a blessed day. Skylar, appreciate you, dog, for running it up. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you in a major way. I appreciate you, dog. Skylar, man, showing love, bro. And you know what? Just did it. He just did it. He was just running it up. I didn't even know he was running it up. I appreciate that, man. My dude snagged Najee. I was hoping I could get Najee down here. It's all right, though. I'm going to go DeAndre Swift. And let me see what receivers are left. We got Rashee Rice, Addison, Xavier Worthy. Now I don't like any of the receivers in the spot. I've been going a lot of Tony Pollard, so I'm gonna kind of go a different route on this one. I really like Tony Pollard this year, but I kind of like Zamir White too. I'm gonna take I'm gonna go Tony Pollard. I'm gonna draft like I would really be drafting right now. I'll take Tony Pollard. I like Tony Pollard a lot this year. I like Tony Pollard. Zamir White. I almost took Zamir White there. Marvin Mims, I feel like he's going to be unleashed this year. Any thoughts? I don't have any thoughts about Marvin Mims. None about Marvin Mims. I don't really see a breakout there. Courtland Sutton, and then the quarterback situation is terrible. He's kind of like a deep play guy. Like maybe in your standard leagues, he finds flex value at some point, but like he doesn't really have appeal of being like the guy there unless Courtland Sutton goes down. And then you also got Troy Franklin, who has a relationship with Bo Nix. I'm staying away from Broncos receivers if possible. Who's the Bears' number one receiver? I think it's a 1A, 1B. You get two different things out of Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. So 1A, 1B. Fantasy BDM said, "What's up, man? I reached out to you on Insta for business." All right, bet I got you. I'll check my messages. Appreciate you reaching out, dog. Can Burrow stay healthy? I have my doubts. Noah, what's good, bro? Noah the GOAT, man. Yo, pretty soon this thing's going to become member only again. So probably the start of July, if you want to be on TikTok and get your shit answered, it's probably going to be members only real quick. I appreciate you staying a member this whole time, dog. I got something for y'all coming. I got a lot of stuff in store this year, man. I've been working, trying to provide a lot more value this year, man. Do you like Pittman this year? Yeah, he's a high-end wide receiver 3, and I think he'll just be a little inconsistent at times with Anthony Richardson. So, yeah, I like Pittman a lot. Swift or Singletary? Give me Swift all day. Thoughts on T. Higgins? I talked about T. Higgins. I think he'll be a value. He's going outside the top 30 receivers, and we know when T. Higgins is healthy, he'll get 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. So I think it's just crazy value. Lamar in the 6th is crazy. Is it though? Damn, no quarterback. We only had Josh Allen, and then in the 5th round was the next quarterback. In a single QB league, it's not that crazy. I don't think, at least. Malik Neighbors, a fade in round 3? Yeah. Big fade in round 3. I think Malik Neighbors, he just doesn't have – he don't have great quarterback play. When you got Daniel Jones, I think – where did he go in this draft? He went – has he gone yet? Oh, he went 3rd round. Yeah, that's way too early. You took whoever took him. I mean, it's your team at the end of the day. But Neighbors over Nico Collins, over Debo, over Pittman, that's kind of wild. Not gonna lie, he's definitely a fade for me in round 3. Yo, whoever running it up again, appreciate you. Opinion on Amari Cooper this year? Probably still going to be in wide receiver 3 territory. He was like wide receiver 24, I want to say last year, 22, 23, somewhere in that range. He, he has potential every year, right? Like we know what Amari Cooper is, but I think just given the fact that it's Deshaun Watson again at quarterback, we know he's not the Deshaun Watson of old. Plus the team brought in Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku stepped up. I just think that Amari Cooper kind of is who he is at this point and is probably going towards the tail end of his career. Who's your sleeper this year? More to come on sleeper stuff, man. MVP, always trust your opinion. Cameron, appreciate you, dog. Cameron, appreciate you, bro. You said, have a good one. Didn't give 1K, but gave about 250. Y'all, appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all. For real. Appreciate y'all showing love, man. Thoughts on Debo this year? Debo is who he is. He's a he's streaky at times too, right? But the team gets him involved in the run game and the passing game. So there might be a couple weeks where he goes and he's not involved as much. But for the most part, once those weeks happen, they rectify it. So I know he had a down year a couple years ago, going into his contract year or right after his contract year? He got things ready. He got things right last year and played at a high level. He should be going right where he is, like right there in the mid tier, the wide receiver 2s. He'll probably finish as a top 15 receiver. You probably answered this. What are your thoughts on Kelce and the Chiefs offense as a whole? I did answer this one actually on live. I've been on live now for a little over an hour. I answered this about Kelce, and the reason why he's going in the 4th round is because we're not getting the same Kelce that we got in the past. So if you're expecting like 1,300 yard, 10 touchdown Kelce, 100 catch Kelce. That's not there no more. That's just not who he is, you know. And the team, I think they're recognizing that, and that's why they're placing the Hollywood Browns and the Xavier Worthies around him. They're trying to get the passing game going again. They've invested draft picks, trading for Kadarius Toney. They drafted Rashee Rice, drafted Sky Moore. So the team is investing in the wide receiver position. I think that the transition's already starting to take place. So the Chiefs' offense as a whole wouldn't surprise me to see them try more stuff downfield with their speed guys. We'll find out, but I think that's kind of the transition that's taking place right now. That's the transition that's taking place. Here's the take. They're only going to be the same old Bears this year. I don't think the Bears receiving core will be as good as some view them. Caleb will have a tough time in the beginning going 5-12. I'm on you. I kind of agree with you there. I've been saying that. I don't think the feedback has been very good on that. A lot of people believe in Rome Odunze and, you know, Caleb Williams especially, but I kind of agree with you there. We haven't seen a 4,000-yard passer there. A lot of that's due to the weather and situation. If Caleb's going to be generational, he's got to break some curses. All right, who we got here? Xavier Worthy still here. JSN. I'm going to grab tight end right now. I'm going to grab Dallas Goedert. And then I'm also going to grab another receiver. JSN, I think, can have a nice year this year. How y'all feel about this squad right now? I got Tyreek. I drafted from the 1 spot. I got Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Cooper Kupp, Kenneth Walker, T. Higgins, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, Dallas Goedert, Jackson Smith-Njigba. What do y'all think about the squad so far? What do y'all think about the squad so far? Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. I answered this one earlier. 1A, 1B. I think Moore he's the more volatile option, and I think Keenan Allen's always going to be like the safer option out of the two. At the 13 in a 14-man league, who should I take at the first pick? And then the second, Saquon and Adams. Yo, if you can get Saquon and Adams in a 14-team league, I think you're set, right? That's the 13th pick and then like the 16th pick. So I think you're getting really good value if you can get Devontae Adams in the second round there. If not, I mean, you still got guys like Brandon Ayuk right behind you. You got, you know, your Travis Etienne, Derrick Henry range. I think you'll be good. But yeah, I think if you could lock in Saquon, because he's the last of like the elite receivers that typically goes him, Jonathan Taylor, or Gibbs. And then you can get the receiver that you want, right? Like Drake London, Ayuk, Devontae, Marvin Harrison for some, Mike Evans, Diggs. They're all pretty there. So they're all pretty much there. So a lot of question marks after the top 6 receivers. I think somebody will slip to you in that second round. Opinion on Stephon Diggs, Brady the Bro was good. I think Diggs will be phenomenal with the Texans. I think he's in for a bounce back season. He was a top 10 receiver in fantasy last year, but I think in real football, we'll see Stephon Diggs playing like normal, and they won't have to deal with the Buffalo weather in the second half of seasons. Like, he can just go out there and play. So I like Diggs next year. Diggs bounce back. Appreciate you, gang. Give the best advice. Noah, appreciate you, man. You the best here in the chat, man. I got the best chats. I don't have chats that just spam and shit. You feel me? Like, y'all pay attention. Y'all give me feedback. We can agree and disagree. I got the best fucking chats, bro. I've been in some of those the other fantasy creator and other just people in general chats, man. I love our chats, bro. This shit's cool. Y'all ask questions. Y'all provide your opinions, bro. This shit's lit to me. So I appreciate the chat, man. Dub chat, as they say, right? W chat. W's in the chat, baby. Is that what we doing? Is Pitts worth drafting? Absolutely, Pitts is worth drafting. Absolutely, Pitts is worth drafting. Good question. Why is Cook risky? So James Cook is risky. We saw him in the offense last year, right? At the beginning of the year, he wasn't playing well. He was really inconsistent. And then when Joe Brady took over the offense midseason, we saw him get a lot more involved in the passing game. That was for about 3-4 weeks. And then what did we see? The same inconsistency that we saw before with James Cook. So to me, the team went and drafted Ray Davis, 4th round pick. Should be a nice battering ram, big size, big body. I just think that he's a little bit more risky. He's a little bit more risky just in general. Like, he could lose some of those goal line touches. Josh Allen already takes them. And if he's not involved in the passing game, what does he really provide? What does he really provide? Thoughts on Anthony Richardson? Josh and Brendan, I'm going to answer this question both. Thoughts on Anthony Richardson this season? He could be the QB1. I think the hype is starting to get there, though. Like, he was going outside of the top 5 quarterbacks. In a lot of rankings, I've seen that now adjust. And so I think he could turn into league winner type. He's got to stay healthy, obviously. He's got to prove again that he can keep the passing game afloat, which I think he will. I think he has QB1 potential. He's probably my favorite quarterback in that area. Like in the 3 to 6 range, he's probably my favorite quarterback there. Thoughts on Mike Williams? More name value than anything. He's already always been an inconsistent guy, but if you can get him outside of top 40 players, like there's a little bit of upside with Aaron Rodgers if he uses them in the red zone. He's got to stay healthy, coming off the ACL injury. It's tough to bank on a player like that, but I think he could have some value. Mike Williams could have some value. I'll be bouncing back and forth with YouTube and TikTok wherever I see wherever I see you first. I stay on that app. I appreciate you, dog. I appreciate you. I'll be trying to bounce back and forth too. I got to get back in mode, man. I got to get back in because, during the season, I stay in mode. So I have not drafted a quarterback yet. Top quarterbacks on the board are Tua, Jared Goff, Justin Herbert, Kirk Cousins. I see a couple quarterbacks I like still. So we only got two more spots to draft. Let me lock in a quarterback right now. I'm going to go with Tua. I feel like that's an easy pick there. And in my last pick, I'm going to grab one more receiver here. See if I can find a little bit of a value pick. I've taken Bateman already. I think Curtis Samuel. Let's go with Curtis Samuel for the floor. Curtis Samuel for the floor. Will Amari Cooper be top 15? I don't see top 15. I think top 20 is a good bet, but Amari Cooper's a little inconsistent at times. Thoughts on Devin Singletary in the bench spot? I think Devin Singletary will be a good flex option throughout the year. He doesn't provide a whole lot of upside. And they've been talking up Tyrone Tracy there too as well. So just know that could be a possibility of him taking away receptions, which is where some of Devin Singletary's value lies. When's the next one? You guys want to do another mock? We could do it. Y'all want to do another mock draft? Think Cousins is undervalued? Yes, I think Cousins is undervalued. And yes, you're right. He was at top 5 fantasy pays. I just passed on him for Tua. It wouldn't surprise me if he outplayed Tua. I'm not going to lie. Thoughts on Team 5? I'll go through all the teams when I'm done. I'll rank all the teams real quick. Number 1 spot is hard. The drop-off from Hill to Diggs is pretty steep. If you see it that way, I don't really think it is, personally. And if you don't like Diggs, I could have took Deebo Samuel there, like a more comfortable name. I could have got Deebo and Josh Jacobs. You might have thought differently. I kind of reached on guys that I like, but if you'd have took Deebo and Josh Jacobs there, I don't think you would have complained. Or like Deebo and Alvin Kamara, I think you'd have been fine with that result, right? Let me know if that would have changed things for you. What are your thoughts on Sam Laporta? I'm not drafting him at his ADP right now. I'm not drafting him. I only draft early tight ends when they're outliers. Sam Laporta is not an outlier. He's just like the other top tight ends. He's the same as Kelsey, the same as Andrews, the same as McBride. There's no clear tight end 1 to me this year. So I'm not drafting a whole lot of Sam Laporta this year. Ryan, what's good, bro? He said, because you're the GOAT. Appreciate you, dog. How you living? Mike Evans still a value everywhere. Every year, every single year, Mike Evans is a value. I don't get it still. To this day, I don't understand how Mike Evans still is like a top 15 guy, and that's it. All right, let me go over these teams real quick. Keeper League, pick 2, Jefferson in the first, Breeze in the third, Richardson in the 10th. I'm assuming you mean Brees. So I get to pick 2 of them. Give me Brees and Richardson. I think you might even be able to swing Justin Jefferson back in the first. Now you get your first round pick, though. And you can get Richardson in the 10th round. You get Brees Hall in the 3rd round. And now you have a chance to get Justin Jefferson back. I would do that if I were you. All right, I'm going to rank these teams real quick. Gabe, what's good, bro? What's good? You doing a mock draft on YouTube? Yes, that's where I'm at right now. I'm on YouTube. I'm going to drop the link there. We'll do one more. I'm going to drop the link on YouTube in the chat. I'm going to drop it in the chat. Here in just a minute. If you want a mock draft, I'm going to drop it in the YouTube chat in a minute. All right, ranking these teams real quick, and then I'll drop. Actually, let me make the league, and then you guys want to do a big one? You guys want to do like a 16-team league or 14? Anybody down for that? 14-team league, or do you guys want to do another 12? Let me know. 12-team or 14-team? I want to do a 14-team. Oh shit, my phone just died. Well, if you're on I forgot to grab my charger, bro. I'll be right back. I'm gonna rank the teams. Fucking phone down. Huh? Right to the stream. Yeah, I know. Fucking phone down, bro. The phone down. So. See, this is how I know I'm not in game mode yet, man. This is how I know. This is how I know I'm not in mode yet. This is how I know it's the off season. That would have never happened to Prime Jahan in the middle of the season. Never. Never would have happened. Damn phone died. All right. No 10, man. Here we go. No 12, 10, 12, 12 or 10, 15-second timer. I could barely even react to the picks. 14, 12. We'll do another 12. We'll do another 12. But at some point, we got to do auction drafts. We got to do 14 teams. We got to do 10. Like, we got to do it all. At some point. I'm going to do 12 because I think we got enough teams in here. But I'm going to react to the teams real quick. All right. So, Machiavelli had Bijan, Mike Evans, Malik Neighbors, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Najee Harris, Kyler Murray. I'm not really feeling this team. You got Bijan and Najee, good running backs there with Brian Robinson, good backs. And you got Evans, Neighbors, Zay Flowers. You're tied to a lot of young receivers. And then you got Flowers and Andrews. I like Kyler down there. I'll give this team like a 7.5. Xavier Legette, Cortland Sutton. You got too many question marks at receiver for me. Uncle Emmett, what's good? Christian McCaffrey, Kelsey, Nico, Cook. Oh, shit, I said it. Let me get this draft ready, too. Let me get this draft ready real quick so we can get it filled. New mock. We're doing another 12-team league. Another 12-team league. Here, y'all can enter it. Boom, there it goes. And then this one, I'm going to go from the – I'll go from the 9 spot. Somebody was asking me about the 9 spot. I'm going to go from the 9 spot. All right, Uncle Emmett, Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce, Nico Collins, James Cook, David Montgomery, Christian Kirk, Deontay Johnson, Brock Purdy, Ladd McConkey, Blake Corum, Bateman. Your receivers are Nico, Christian Kirk, and Deontay Johnson, bro. It's like, I think you could have waited on Travis Kelce. That's my thing. And like, you probably could have got like a Mike Evans. The next tight end didn't go. Laporta didn't go to the early part of the 4th round. So I think this is like a 7.52. I think there's probably some better teams in here. CeeDee Lamb, Travis Etienne, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Rome Odunze, Brian Thomas, Josh Downs, a receiver, Etienne and Jalen Warren, Trey Benson are your running backs, Joe Burrow and Kincaid. You would need Warren to hit in a major way for this team to even make the playoffs, especially if Waddle and Devontae Smith are as inconsistent as they were last year. Surprised you took Waddle there over like a Pittman or a Samuel. It's not the end of the world, but I was just kind of surprised. And then Travis Etienne over like a Josh Jacobs to me, or a Kamara even. I don't hate it. This team's like a 7.8. 7.8. I quit. Got St. Brown, Derrick Henry, Debo, DJ Moore. I like the setup there with A-Rich and Trey McBride. Raheem Mostert at the flex. You got Keon Coleman, good late round pick there. Zach Moss and Tajay Spears there as your backups. This is a good team. And Tyler Lockett too. You got a nice veteran there. This is a 8.2. I like this. That's a good team. 8.2. Jettas, Drake London, Joe Mixon, Josh Jacobs, Jalen Hurts, Evan Ingram. Oh, I didn't like the Ingram pick. I don't like that pick. But Zamir White, good backs there for the flex. Christian Watson for some upside. Michael Williams, Jacoby Myers, Devin Singletary. This will probably be a good team on paper. I think you're missing a little upside, right? You got London and Jefferson as your upside, which is good. But the rest of your picks don't really have a whole lot of like true upside. You know what I'm saying? So you get there and you have Jalen Hurts too, which is cool. But like you're missing the ceiling, I would say, out of these picks. You kind of know what most of these backs are. So I give this an 8. This is a good team. Could have been a little better in my opinion. If you at a couple different spots, especially like here in the middle of your draft, you got upside with Christian Watson. I see that, but like this Evan Ingram spot and maybe even this you took Jalen Hurts as the second quarterback off the board. I think if you would have had another position player here and here, you could have got like a Dak or something down here. And then if this wasn't a tight end, you could have had another really good option, like even a high upside option at receiver. You know what I'm saying? So I like the setup of this. It just got a little weaker right here, I would say. It's not terrible, though. Not terrible. I'll give it an I'll give you like an 8. Ryan, Jamar Chase, Ayuk, Pacheco, Cooper. Nice setup here. Aaron Jones, CJ Stroud, David Njoku, Rashee Rice, Zeke, Caleb, and Hockenson. Normally, I don't advocate for 2 quarterbacks in a single QB league. I don't mind it. I probably would have got a different positional player down there. This team is pretty good. It's probably like an 8.1. If I give the other one an 8.2, I like that more. This team's good. You have nice floor pieces, have some decent upside. You need Rashee Rice to hit, though. If you don't hit, it flips to 7.8. Or if he's out for like 8 weeks. You know what I mean? $5 holla. Breece Hall, Devin Achane, Jonathan Brooks, Gus Edwards, Olave Pittman, Jaden Reed, Khalil Shakir. Receivers are kind of weak. You probably knew that. I think you got some upside here. I don't love this team, but it's probably a playoff team. It's probably like an 8.1. You got some good upside on this team too with Achane, Reed, and Kyle Pitts. I don't love it though. It's an 8.1, 8.2. I like the other team more, so you're 8.1. Maybe that 8.2 I gave is closer to an 8.5. This is 8.2. The other one was 8.5. Kyle has Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, Kyren, DK, Mahomes, McLaurin, Stevenson, Ferguson, Jaden Daniels, Donnie Mitchell, or 80 Mitchell, whatever we're calling him. And then Dotson. Like the receiver, or like the running backs, they're decent. You got Kyren, good value on Kyren there in the 3rd round. I think that's a little too far for him to fall. And then your receivers, Wilson, Metcalf, McLaurin, you did good there. Your bench is a little suspect to me. Just a lot of question marks with Mitchell and Dotson, and you already have McLaurin too. It's not bad. Are you a Washington guy? You must like. In my draft, I would assume you're a Washington Commanders fan. I would just assume that. I don't know that about you, but you got McLaurin, you got Jaden Daniels, and you got Dotson. You got all parts of the offense. I think in best ball, that's actually a really good stack to have. Dotson, Daniels, and McLaurin. I actually think in best ball, it's not a bad stack if you can get it. All right, Team 10 was A.J. Brown, Barkley, Kamara, Keenan Allen, Ridley, Lamar, Javonte, Jameson Williams. I like this team. And then Dalton Schultz down there with Trevor Lawrence, Quinn Johnson. Y'all like this team? You were going for the good J-Hen ranking, weren't you? This is a good team. I think the only change I would have made is instead of taking Trevor Lawrence, why not get another running back? You're never going to play Trevor Lawrence over Lamar Jackson unless you're just hoping he doesn't get hurt, which you should never play for injury. So, and I think there's other comparable quarterbacks to Lawrence that didn't even get drafted. I don't think Kirk Cousins even went in this draft. Kirk Cousins, I don't think Aaron Rodgers went. Stafford didn't go. So you could have took another running back there. Tajay Spears went after that. If you would have had Tajay Spears here, it's been damn near a perfect draft. So like it, 8.4. Team 11, I'm not grading you because you didn't stay in. And then AK, Taylor, Devontae, Rachaad White, George Pickens, Godwin, Kittle, DeAndre Hopkins. This is a good team. Dak, Jerome Ford, Austin Eckler, Pat Freiermuth. This is a good team. Y'all like this team too? This is an 8.4, 8.5. This is another really good team. Good upside there in the middle of your draft. You got that Tampa stack. It's all right. That's not a bad Tampa stack. They both catch the rock. I like that team too. Who do y'all like? Which team do y'all like the best? Who's your guys' favorite team? Who's your guys' favorite team? All right. Do we got the draft field?